This is a commentary track to accompany my recent Unkillable Super Contra arcade run. This one plays a little bit differently from the NES version. The NES Super C played a whole lot like the original NES Contra game, barring just a couple minor changes in weaponry and mostly just stage layout stuff. Even the final stage is somewhat similar to the original in the NES version. Here, this one's a lot shorter and sweeter, or rather shorter and a whole lot more brutal. Plays quite a bit differently as well. In this one, it goes more by weapon upgrades rather than the usual just grab the spread and then just dominate from there on. This one actually plays somewhat like Robotron in some ways, in the way you can fire and sort of spread out and effectively either double or spread out your rate of fire by wiggling the controls. And the other similarity to some other games like Robotron, some of the updated versions of that where you had sort of powered up weapons, same thing applies here. You have a lot of powered up weapons if you were to grab the same one twice in a row. In the machine gun's case, that's what we're going by here. The machine gun, once we grab that at the very beginning of this game, from then on, at the very tail end of the first stage, you can get another one, and that becomes a super machine gun. You can do that with any weapon, but it really makes a difference with the machine gun. So, I'm going to do a quick run and show you how we do it. Alright, you're going to see two little red girders there. We stop on the second one, that's where the pod passes, and there's the machine gun. From there, pretty straightforward Contra stuff. Run, gun, repeat. Take a little bit of time. This is a game of inches, in a literal sense, game of distance, where if you take the time to scroll the screen just a little bit and then you aim accordingly, you can take care of a lot of stuff before it even shows up on screen. Here, you can see that. There's a little explosive box. There's a grenade guy. Ground gunner. Right here is where it starts to get interesting, though. I break my own rule here. I go a little too far, too fast. These two moving turrets. I got both of them on the screen. I should have just inched a little bit forward. Took them out, but it was rougher than it had to be. Third one there, see, that's how to do it. Here's one of the toughest parts of the stage and the game is the tank. You take care of the gunner right away, and then you start mashing like crazy. That part actually took me a while to get down. Now here, ground turrets, take your time. There's going to be a little trench. Same deal. A little bit forward at a time. Duck, take out the sniper guy. Right in the middle of the trench is where the second pod, there is our super machine gun right there. Much different. Take out the guns as fast as we can. If you go really fast, take out the middle gun, it opens up the little sensor, and that takes it out right away. Almost get it, not quite, but no matter. Just take out the guys on the hatch. Wait for it to close. Wait for it to go up a little bit so it doesn't crush you. Avoid the gunfire, and there it is. Okay, now we run all the way over to the right, and we stop just under the middle green grenade guy. You're going to see three guys. Stop up. Take him out as fast as possible. Barely did it before things got too chaotic. That opens up a whole lot so we can work our way back in the middle now. Doesn't have to worry about the gunners. There's the sensor. Gone. Alright. This is where it is run and gun. Pretty simple. Super machine gun really helps you out here. Sick range, and you can waggle control a little bit. Past that pod, grab the second one. Second one's really important. That's the shell. There's going to be another one of those at the very, very end of stage 5, the final stage. But for now, we just run and gun. Don't even worry. Don't stop for anything. Just kind of wiggle the control a little bit. Kind of has a spread gun effect with the super machine gun. Bullets are pretty slow, and most of the stationary guys are pushovers. You can split most of the bullets. Say, you just run right through the middle, a lot of them. Take out the door. Boss coming up. Gotta worry about guys getting keep behind us, but we just wiggle there. Take those guys out, split the bullets. I get a little too cute myself here. If you do this right, you can take him out real fast, but in this case, a little too cute. He almost gets me, but there's a safe spot. Still, a little too cute there. Just take your time on him. He'll go down faster if you concentrate. So, there he goes. On to stage 3, which is one of the trickiest ones in the game, actually. You got some ground turrets to worry about. You have a ground gunner soon after. There's the ground turret. You gotta take this a little bit slow. Watch the guys jump into the trees. They'll end your run if you go too fast. Same thing, game of inches. There's the ground gunner. You can see him just behind the brush. I don't even worry about the gunners. Their bullets are usually pretty slow. What you do have to worry about is more jumper guys. There's gonna be another ground turret, another ground gunner, and then a mortar guy. The mortar guy can screw you, but usually it's pretty evened out there, the way it just dropped there. The trees are pretty tricky here too. You gotta take your time here because you can't shoot through the trees, but they can jump through the branches and stab you. So, okay, now here we're going to have 4 face huggers. There's one from the ground. You just took him out. You barely saw him. Pay attention to the trees. There's one. That's 2 we've taken out. There's a 3rd one coming. And then a 4th one. Just aim straight up. Roll high percentage. You'll get them. There's a pod. Let it pass. Comes just after the 4th and final face hugger. Little ground running skull guys. Easy enough with a duck and super machine gun. Pods. Easy enough. They can't do anything. This guy's tough. The boss is very tricky. You want to be diagonal. You don't want to jump. You want to do the little wiggle. Take out as many little shrimp guys as you possibly can. The worms. Unlearned from the NES version. These are not homing fireballs. You can get right under if you can work your way. Just gotta worry about the little side ones and duck if you have to. But you can dodge the straight one. But straight up, shoot. There you go. Okay, this stage is also a game of inches. It's all about the ramps. You want to take the ramps real slow, usually. If you have the high ground, it's a disadvantage. The little blob guys, no problem. Wiggle, repeat. But you want to get off those ramps and get to even ground. This is real bad though, the high ground. Okay, here you move real slow. You have more of those skull guys and they come homing in at you. But if you're aiming forward and you just step, they'll go right in your line of fire. Same thing here. There they come from above and we wiggle. The pods are tricky here too. That's almost like one of those turrets, those mortars in itself, because if you grab the wrong one, might as well end the run. So just worry about where they fall and avoid them. Okay, now see, that guy ran from the ramp and okay, I'll explain that in a second. First we have this boss, same old wiggle deal. Aim straight up and wiggle like a spread gun. You can usually take out anything that falls to the side. Now same thing here. I kind of take my time. There's a runner. Get up at the even ground. There's going to be guys coming from behind as well. There we go. So now let's get to this part. We wait. Then we go. The second we get that guy coming from the ramp, we want to go get off that ramp and get back to even ground. Low or high. We just do not want to mess with the diagonal stuff. 3 pods here. 1, 2, there's a 3rd at the very end of the wall. Sometimes it glitches out and is invincible, and that's a huge problem. In that case, we got him. And straight up now, the boss comes out. The super machine gun, he can't get a shot off. That part's a nightmare if that pod's invincible, but worked out there. Okay, 5th and final stage, run and gun. Same as the other overhead, stage 2. Hang out toward the left middle segment here. There's going to be another pod. Grab it. That is our second shell, which is great. because now we have a huge problem with the mouths. Do not stop for anything. You stop, you slow down, they show up a whole lot, and they'll even kind of glitch out and appear in spots they shouldn't, like up here. That would end your run if so, but there they go. Those rotating guys aren't so bad, but there's going to be a whole bunch of them coming right on this third notch. See that notch? That's where a bunch of them come out. If you go real slow, 3 at a time come out. If you go a little bit further, 6 of them come out. They themselves aren't a problem, but they kind of play offensive line for the little shooting crab guys. So you want to kind of go clockwise and take them out slowly, then get back to working on the crabs. This part's where you save your shell, right here. You got these little guys coming, and they will overwhelm you unless you use one of the shells. And even here, it can be tricky, so you want to really, really get through as fast as you can. Hopefully you have decent luck with the layout and the way they appear. But once you do, here's the final boss. Shell time. The second and final shell takes out everything else on screen and gives us a whole lot of breathing room for his bullets. And we've won. Final boss down for the count. No, he's not. Now we have phase 2, which is the classic Red Falcon battle. See the little floor pattern there? See the little donut pattern? The bottom middle one, stand right where I'm standing. Usually, you'll work on the eyes. In this case, I had to take out one before it started aiming right towards the little middle of the forehead. Took out the little demon, almost like red or Reamer guy from Ghosts and Goblins, but he flies away. We have done it. Huge shout out to Pete Hahn, who also has a commentary run of this game, helped out immensely. Similar strategies applied here. I took my time quite a bit though. That was really the difference. The side segments, I take my time, and the overhead, usually you want to just go, bull rush, run and gun. There we go. Super Contra Arcade Unkillable. Get our score here. 10, 566, 320. NWO for life. Made of the June, baby.